Hi there. Um, Something was pressing. When he speaks, we listen. Um, the majority of the time when I share my spiritual gifts with other people, they might not like what they're hearing and they act based on their wants and needs, and that's perfectly fine. That's called free will, right? Before, when I used to get revelations and messages, I thought it was not my job. I felt responsible for actually allowing people to know what was coming, uh so they can actually make a good decision. There are people that will take the advice, and there's other people that will act totally opposite to the advice you give them. And that's kind of a rebellious way of showing, like, you cannot control me or something. Comes from a sense of a person thinking that their ways are the best ways and things like that. And I guess that we all, in one point or another in our lives, have been there. Today, when I asked Abba before sitting in this chair, what should we talk about? He pointed out at Jeremiah 7, and for some reason, verse 21 jumped in. It's been 3 days on the same line of messages. When he speaks, we listen, and we need to take inventory not only about what we're translating or channeling, but also the way we are channeling. So I decided that I'm going to try my best to put his messages out there without putting my personal view on it the most that I can. Because sometimes what I'm saying is not my personal view, but channel messages that might go along with it. Or I may be writing or talking about a certain specific thing, and he will point out what scripture should be read, either if it is for my personal growth or for the growth of another. I think that at times we just need to listen. I struggled a little bit with kind of focusing and listening. When I started doing sales, I understood that I had to listen in order to be able to know how to sell. Yet, with time, I guess as the PTSD progressed, I lost that spark a little, and I'm trying to regain it back by changing my approach, not because I want to get something done, but because it is in my best interest to communicate in a better way so I don't have to repeat myself, because of the pattern that I have of repeating myself when I said the truth and people won't believe it. But this is for my personal growth. Maybe somebody out there needs to hear that. So when he brought me to that specific verse 21, it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices. But these things commanded I them, saying, Obey my voice, and I will be your God, and we shall be, and you shall be, or ye shall be, my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you." the tendency of us humans to believe at times that what we say is correct is something that we need to start acknowledging. Obviously, in this chapter, he's talking about a lot of things related to Israel, right? If you look at the original root of the word Israel, if we go back into knowing that they should or would speak Aramaic, then in Hebrew and Aramaic, Israel means God strives, God rules, God judges, or one who struggles, contends with God. The root of the word is to struggle. And the other part of the word is to rule or to be strong. I always said that the Bible is a map, and what I see through my spiritual eyes here, the mind and the heart. Emotions are there to be explored so we can understand them, not use them as a way to manipulate or make others contend with your desires. And that's very important to acknowledge. It's like God is asking, do they provoke me to anger, saith the Lord? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? It comes to pass that while you're a seeker and you start seeking the truth, you start learning as you go. But as you actually start speaking in communion with what I believe is the Holy Spirit, which is your full alignment, messages sound totally different. I always believe, and I will stay in that belief, that God is love. And as a loving father, he doesn't speak from wrath and anger as people made or handmade. What he speaks about is, who are you when you feel abandoned? Who are you when you feel? Who are you when you feel? So a person that has spiritual knowledge, not indoctrinated beliefs, learns the difference between one and the other. The indoctrinated person only believes that their way is the way. Why do I expose? I was in that path at the beginning, and then as I allowed the Holy Spirit and God to talk to me and open my heart, I started gathering from not only the things that happened, but also, and I started brainstorming, and I said, okay, some of the messages were for me, some others were not. When God has a purpose in your life, no one can get in the middle of it. And the reason why is the following: if he allows things to happen, they're not against you, they're for you. And I am such a true believer of that, not only because of my faith in understanding humanity, but also in my faith of knowing that this book is not just a normal indoctrination book. It's actually a perfect blueprint on how to live within the laws of the universe in full reciprocity and immense abundance. What people need to understand is abundance starts from the heart, not from the head. And a lot of people think that abundance starts from the head because they're always trying to get the next best thing done. What happens with the head or the mind is that if your emotions are not regulated, anyone can make you think that an offer it's good. And the way they'll pitch it is going to be manipulating your emotions. Why is this coming up? Not sure. I just hope that the person that needs to hear this can hear it with an open heart. Because at times, people warn us. I, at times, warn people based on what I hear in the places that they're talking about me. And 2 nights ago, I had a clear voice message where the people that are trying to manipulate this person were trying to plan something. And Abba placed me in that place so I could hear what was happening. That's why they say that some people are removed from your experience because Abba knows what's happening around them and with the people around them. And I don't want to pinpoint it to a specific person because that's not my cup of tea anymore. I'm just laying out the message so those who are susceptible, sensitive, not in a mocking way, but in a truthful way, people that are highly sensitive out there, the only way that you can stop another person from manipulating you is understanding emotions. There are various things that are coming to mind, not from my past, but from this action or from this message. And I come back to verse 22. It says, "For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices." People don't understand that some rituals are black magic and some others are what they call white magic. Our ancestors had some rituals that were passed along generations that are considered black magic. And when a person continues to practice those, there's going to be a moment in time that they're going to hit a blockage based on the fact that they're going to be dealing with a person that is spiritually high ranked. And Abba's not going to take it. Abba's not going to take it because he knows he has a purpose with that person. I was speaking about purpose the other day with a friend of mine, and I asked, "What do you think is your purpose in life?" obviously, like everybody else, oh, I need to be doing service for others and this and that. Everybody thinks that their purpose in life is a specific career or a specific teaching moment. But the true purpose in life, which is the one that triggers the rest of the existence to happen, or the fated events to happen, it's only one. And it's the one that we humanity struggle the most with, which is happiness. We were conditioned to attach happiness to a specific way of living, a specific social status, a specific set of rules, a specific position at work. It's all based on hierarchies. When you are awakened, you understand that hierarchies are nothing without happiness. Why? You will grind, 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 and get to the place that you want. But when you get to that top level, it's lonely out there. And it becomes lonely because the majority of the people in that level have minds that are all in for how to make money, how to make money. And the part of the heart is left outside. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with money or people in high places. What I have a problem is with us humanity believing in indoctrinated ways that actually are the ones that are stepping in front of us and telling us this is your own barrier, not somebody else's. And that's what I'm trying to point across, like make a point of. It's not bad to have money. Actually, money is a high frequency of exchange, of a flow that reflects honestly and truly to those who have found happiness within. Because when you find happiness within yourself, you automatically start doing things for you, not for what anybody else says, not for what everybody else thinks about you. You do it because it makes you happy. When I was young, I used to dance a lot. And I didn't dance in public much until I became a new wave. And I started dancing in the parties and having fun. And then when indoctrination comes in and my father tells me this kind of like specific thing that he said, I was like, how can me being happy can bother or make you look bad in front of others? And I'm like, that's how we're indoctrinated. Our parents have at times tendencies to tell us good advice, and sometimes advice based on their experience. And if they are people that were raised into keeping a certain image, then what you're going to think is that your image is all in life. And you know what? Your image is just a piece of glass that can be shattered by lies as well as by truth. So if you want to be an example to others, start with you. What is the best example that you can show everybody else that when you actually reach that happiness within you, your mind starts feeling motivated on wanting to do projects, on wanting to do, I don't know, if you singing, if you dancing from your heart without restrictions, if you actually are a writer, writing from your heart, if you're a painter, painting from that center of the heart. It's not the same to use your circumstances and emotions to project than to literally use them to present your true emotions, the ones that come from the heart, not the ones that come from, I have to do this to get the money. I have to do. No. What happens in those times is that that money is going to be conditioned and it's going to go away the same way it came in. Generational wealth and abundance is created from the heart space, not from the tricks of the mind. That's an illusion that keeps you in the hamster wheel. I don't do things just because I'm going to get the money or my finances are going to be up here. When I choose to do things, I choose to do them from my heart. I chose to keep on doing my jewelry based on the fact that women or men at times like a little accessory to feel more themselves. So when I create my jewelry, I create it with a sense of fashion that is not the typical fashion that you can find out there. So a person can actually be unique to who they are. When I actually start sewing, I saw things that other people don't have and they have not ever worn, not in clothing, but in other aspects, just because I know they're going to feel unique with it. There's other things that become trends, but you cannot be a product of trends and fashion and all those things. When I say this, I'm saying not because it looks good out there, it means it's going to look good on you. But if you feel good with it, who cares? You see, it's a different sound. It hits the heart differently. So I'm very passionate in the things that I do because I put all my heart into it. If I look for a specific way of doing things a better way, is because I want everybody to benefit from it. I'm not selfishly thinking on myself. Now, there are people that only want themselves to be benefit. And what happens with that type of people is that they're going to use whatever they know is going to move you to be more docile, more manageable. And unfortunately, I've seen groups of friends that want something specific from another person, and how they get it? Simple. Finding a girl that is willing to be with them in their plan and make you think that that person has your best interest at heart. I'm not doing this to point it at anyone. It's just things that have been coming into my heart of how sometimes, and I keep on going back to this space, that I was in a bar and there was this couple, and the guy was being distorted in his emotions because he was about to crack, right? At same simple sight, the people around us, all of them felt his vibration and automatically thought that he was the problem. But it didn't trick me. It didn't trick me because I'm very well versed in energies. And I look at the person that was sitting beside me and I said, he's not the problem, it's her. She's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, just watch, observe, learn to observe people's behaviors. Whenever you expected the least and you're truly observant, you'll see the eye contact within those people that are actually planning together things against anywho, and you can see it. So I told the person, observe, and I left it there. Let's just observe. I'm drinking a little coffee here, decaf coffee, because I cannot drink coffee anymore because I'll be jumping up the walls. Anywho, I no more chocolate. I do eat chocolates on my days off whenever I can, but not now because I'm on a diet. But still, I like chocolate. So I'm drinking my collagen, chocolate collagen, to avoid having a craving for chocolate. I'm like a little kid when it comes to dark chocolate. I'm all in. Anywho, let's go back. So the girl was observing. The lady that was with me that day, she was observing and observing and observing. And then she looks at me and she's like, oh, wow, she's totally a manipulator. And I'm like, yep. She, at first sight, was loving and caring. Oh, why are you acting like that? Or why are you doing this? Or why you look like this? At all times, she was like, oh, my love, don't do that. You see, we're in front of people here, blah, 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 blah. At first glance, you will think that he is the problem. Mm-mm. He was already, his nervous system was already breaking out. That's how I felt when PTSD came into my life. Your nervous system was crashing. And it was crashing because of all the lies, all the attacks that psychologically this lady was doing to him. How did we notice? When she left to go to the bathroom, he was at peace. He didn't feel threatened. Her calmness, his calmness in the body, changed the complete environment. And he exhaled as soon as she left the room. And I told my friend, go check her out. She's like, why? And I'm like, because she's been flirting with this guy and nobody has caught it. But I did catch it. And probably they're like changing numbers. And she's like, are you serious? And I'm like, just go check it. Right? Not that we did. But when she came back, she actually did several things that my friend said, oh, wow, she's truly manipulating him, making him feel guilty for expressing himself with the truth while she's the one that is coverting the lie. So that was a huge lesson because at times, based on our own perception, we can create that world in our own heads. But also based on coercion, we can create those spaces in our heads. And I was there based on coercion at times, because I had a belief and I trusted that that belief was something certain. Yet life showed me more than what I wanted to see. So be observant. Sometimes actions, distorted actions from a human being, it's not that that person is immature. It's not that that person is out of their mind. it could represent that that person is being abused by somebody else. So keep that in mind. And if you are that person, ask for help. Ask for help because you're not the punching bag of anyone emotionally. And you need to learn how to stand up for yourself. So the next time something like that happens, you don't let it affect your life. I talk from experience. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I work in spirituality, spiritual healing, and helping others stop thinking with their minds and start seeing with their hearts through speaking to their souls. Bye-bye.